What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Thursday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And we're back after kind of another bummer night. So we're kind of bumbling and stumbling our way out of the month of January. We're going to still wind up. I wanted to get to 10 units. We're not going to get to 10 units. We're giving a little back, including 1.2 we gave back last night. Both college basketball bets go down. We had been doing well in college basketball. In fact, we were feeling like we could get back over 500 in college basketball, but that's not going to be the case after losing a couple of games. Last night, we are 16-18. Now we're 16-20 on the year so far for college basketball. It's still not horrible because we're still up over 6 units for the month, but we're giving a little back here. We get the Celtics team total right. That was the ad that we had at 60.5. Boston scored 68 points against the Chicago Bulls, but West Virginia got housed at home by Houston, and Wisconsin had a 3 at the buzzer to lose by 5. It missed until they lost by 8, unfortunately. So we lose both those college basketball bets, and we wound up down 1.2 units, a 1-2 day for us. So in terms of how the week is going, it's really not been a great week for us so far. We were up on Monday, down a little on Tuesday, down on Wednesday. So far, what? That's 1.2, it's 1.4. So we're down 0.5 for half a unit. We're down a half unit so far for the week. So not horrible, but we got time to recover. Just not a great week so far. Not a great stretch here for us in the month of January. Okay, couple things. I will do NBA player props today. I liked that Celtics bet. It came in at 60.5. We bet it, so I didn't do player props. I will do player props tonight on the NBA for the games in the association. So you're going to go to the BettingPros app. You're going to download it. Then you're going to search at Sports Talk Matt, and you're going to follow me on the app. That will give you a notification as to when I post the player props, at least 2, maybe 3. We'll see as to how we'll roll with this tonight. But NBA player props for sure will hit you. So I have an NBA player prop coming later. I have a college basketball bet, and I have an NHL bet. So we're going to cross off all 3 sports here on a Thursday. More than 3 bets because we'll have 2 or 3 player props, but 3 sports, NHL, NBA, and college basketball to be covered here tonight for us. Let's start in the college basketball ranks with the game of the night. Oregon is at UCLA. Yes, this is a Pac-12 game that used to be. No longer. Now we're looking at Big Ten. So here's Oregon, who they're 6-3 on the road this year, ATS. However, things are not going great for Dana Altman's club. They're 9-11 ATS overall. They are 2-7 ATS in the Big Ten. They haven't covered in 4 straight games. They are 3-7 ATS over their last 10. It's not been good. They lost to Minnesota on the road as favorites in their last game. -4. They lose by 8. They were laying 12.5 to Washington. They won by 11. They went at home against Purdue. They were favored by 2.5 points, and they lost by 7. They were laying 2.5 to Penn State on the road, and they won by 1. Didn't cover. Last 4 games, did not cover. 6 of the last 7 games, not covered so far here for Oregon. On the flip side, UCLA hasn't been great, but UCLA, when they played against Oregon in their first matchup, they were on the road as dogs, and they won the game outright. They were catching 3.5 points, and they won the game outright. Now they shift back to home, where they are 4.5-point favorites, opened at 4. It's now 4.5. UCLA is 11-10 ATS. They're not much better, by the way, in the Big Ten. They're 3-7. But they are 7-4 ATS at home. And like I mentioned, they've already beaten Oregon 1 time this year. They beat USC on the road in their last game. They were 1.5-point favorites. They won by 6. They've won 4 games in a row. They just only covered 2 of them. And that was following a 4-game losing streak and a 5-game and 6-game stretch for UCLA. Mick Cronin's team has really pulled out of this nosedive beating Iowa by 24, Wisconsin by 2, Washington by 5, and USC by 6. I like UCLA here. Even though KenPom has this as only a 3-point win, 4 straight wins for UCLA. They're at home, and Oregon has not been great this season, and really things are not going right at all for the Oregon Ducks. They've lost to Illinois, UCLA, Purdue, and Minnesota. I think they lose again here, unfortunately, to UCLA for them. I'll lay the 4.5 points with this because I think there's some real places where UCLA is going to take advantage. Defensively, they're 21st in efficiency. Mick Cronin's team is going to be effective. You could bet the under in this game too, by the way, if you want to. 32nd for efficiency for Oregon. They are 80th in effective field goal percentage, 160th for UCLA defensively. But UCLA is a team that offensively, they've been better than in recent years. They're not great still offensively, but 55th in offensive efficiency, 83rd in effective field goal percentage. They are 83rd in 2-point shooting. They're 146th in 3-point shooting. Oregon defensively has been okay, 40th in efficiency, 70th in effective field goal percentage, 63rd in 3-point defense, and 102nd in 2-point defense. I just think this is a tough matchup here for Oregon on the road at UCLA. This is a 10:30 Eastern time start on Fox Sports 1. I like Mick Cronin's team. Heck of a game to be had here. And again, if you want to just bet the under, I don't hate it. If you want to bet the under in this game, it's a little low. It's 140.5. It's a little low. So there's potential for this game to go over. Instead, I'm just going to lay the 4.5 points. Home team, UCLA. They take both games against Oregon this year. UCLA minus 4.5 for 1.1 units. We go to hockey. The Vegas Golden Knights are at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus is the number 1 over team in hockey so far this year. They are 30-19-1 this year to the over overall. Over their last 10 games, however, though, it's been a little bit different. They've actually are 7-3 to the under over their last 10 games. But this is where it can be a little bit deceiving. They're 4-1 to the under over their last 5 games. They're 2-1 to the under over their last 3. On the flip side, you look at the Vegas Golden Knights and where they are over their last 10 games. And Vegas has been scoring. They're 5-4-1 to the over their last 10 games. Over their last 5, they're 3-1-1. In the last 3 for the Vegas Golden Knights with the over, they're 2-1. This total is 6.5 or 6. If you get 6.5, I don't mind betting under 6.5. But you can find a 6, which gives us a really good push potential. We're looking at most likely number 1 goaltenders. Columbus is a team that just gives up a lot of goals. In Vegas, Aiden Hill is probably in net for Vegas. His games have gone 7-5, 7-9 in his last 4 starts. He's given up 4 goals in 3 of his last 4 starts. He hasn't been great. So on the flip side, Vegas is scoring a bunch of goals. Vegas scored 3 against Dallas, 4 against Florida, 3 against Dallas, 4 against St. Louis in their last 4 games. So they're scoring. We know that Aiden Hill hasn't been great. He's been giving up goals. We know Vegas tends to play at home. They tend to play a little more to the over than what they normally do. And so far this year to the over at home, Vegas is flat. They're 14-13 to the under, actually, at home this year. But generally speaking, they do play games that tend to lean towards the over, especially when it's 6. I think you can play under 6.5. If you like the under, find a 6.5. I'd rather take a shot on the over and take it maybe with an open net, or maybe it's a 4-2 final and we wind up getting ourselves a push. 6 is the number I like to bet on. I like to bet overs on 6. I don't mind betting under 6.5, but when it gets to 6, I'm going to take the shot and bet over just because of open nets and scoring opportunities. So to me, I think the shot we take is on the over 6 for Vegas here in their game at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. So college basketball, We're gonna jump in here with UCLA. We'll lay the 4.5 points at home up against Oregon. Vegas and Columbus over 6. It's minus 125 to get to the 6. It's 1.25 units down on that. And then we'll throw a couple NBA player props at you guys on the Betting Pros app by going and downloading bettingpros.com. Or get the Betting Pros app and then go. Well, you can go to bettingpros.com/sportstalkmatt too. That'll get you there. But just get the Betting Pros app and then search for me at sportstalkmatt. And you should be golden for the NBA player props. You can ask me any questions that you need, obviously, on our Discord channel. To get there, it's bettingpros.com/chat. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at sportstalkmatt every single morning. Wherever you guys get your podcasts, it is the Daily Juice.